let's talk about Corinthians against Rushen, because Rushen could go top. They've been going quite well in the Premier League of late. But Corinthians, how much do we know about them? They've only played 4 games, as you've just mentioned. They lost on the opening day of the season, a 3-1 defeat to St Georges, but they've won 3 on the bounce since then. So this one, again, I don't know about question marks, but how much do we really know about Corinthians heading into this fixture?
Well, I know a lot about them, but a lot of other people don't. And the issue is, at the start of the season, you're right, they lost to St George's 3-1. And then they went on to have a win against Ramsey 2-0. Really good win against Douglas Athletic, even though it was tight at half-time at 1-1, but went on to win 11-1. And then in the game against Moran, I think it was, 7 or 8 goals that they scored. So, there's plenty of goals in there. They're one player missing, I think, tomorrow. But there's plenty of strength in the squad. But it's just this chance of playing football. But I know last Wednesday they hired the ball again and just played on that just to keep the boys rolling. And that's why they've taken the chance tomorrow, because Ballafletcher could be perfectly playable, but they've booked the ball because they just want to play football. But against Rushen, they're up and running, aren't they, and done really well. Liam Cowan's doing a great job there, getting the best out of that team. And there's some sterling performances going in. As we know, Ireland International Alex Maitland at the back is keeping things there. I think Jordan Cork will probably partner him. But it's just like sort of right the way through the midfield, where they seem to be sort of working ever so hard, and Liam's got them fit, and I just feel up front, if they've got Jamie Johnston and Mikey Williams, and Mikey always seems to play well against Corinthians, can cause all sorts of problems and get the important goals for them. But at the moment, I have to stick my neck out to Corinthians, and we'll just see how it goes at the Bowl.
Also with a chance to go level on points with St Mary's, and they could overtake them if there's a huge goal swing, are St George's. They suffered their first defeat of the season last week against Peel. This weekend they welcome Laxey to Glen Crutchley Road. A win, as I say, would draw them level on points. But Laxey, again, they've had an impressive start. They have just seemed to slip away in recent weeks. No win in 3. If it goes to no win in 4, do you think that's their bright start well and truly coming to an end?
No, I don't think so, because when you look at the teams that they've lost against, they're the top teams. But they've absolutely demolished the teams that you thought it would be very, very close or even a draw. And credit to them, the game against Rushen, they played really well. The game against Peel, they weren't far away. Okay, they lost. And it's just one of those, St Mary's, okay, was a little bit of a beating. But St Mary's, I think, look the strongest at the moment out of the top sides. But that defeat that they had against Rushen pegged them back into that pack. So we'll just have to wait and see how this one goes. But, Johnny Palmer and the boys have done an incredible job. We didn't expect Laxey to be sort of challenging for Railway Cup, and here they are. They've got the points on the board. Some clubs that are expected to be there blow them in the league. But St George's, as you rightly say, last week, a heavy defeat, I thought, against Peel. But when you look at Peel's team sheet, you could understand why. Where they've had the problems, they've filled that gap at the back. And with players coming back from injury, I think Steve Faulkner's happy where they are.
Do you think we will see an upset for Douglas Athletic against Peel? Peel with a faltering start to this campaign, but they do seem now to be clicking. And Dominic McCreevy playing, I think, for the first time last weekend, and it showed in their victory over St George's.
Yeah, Dom's a great player, and it's great to see him back in there. And you're right what you're saying, his first game back. They've been waiting for him patiently. Luke Doherty's in there as well, so that's a great partnership. Right fullback, not too sure who's going to play there. But it was so nice last week as well. Tom Wood back, Ireland International, great player. He's been struggling at injury, but it does seem to have cleared up now. And, going forward, I think, Steve Faulkner's still going to have to try something out, because you're going to have Dan Simpson, who's going really well on that left-hand side. Right-hand side will be Lee Gale. You've got Rhys Oates in the middle. Lee had a game of his life last week. But against Douglas Athletic, that pitch at times can be a real struggle for the top sides. I know Corinthians and St George's over recent couple of years have scored an absolute hatful there, and that's how it can go. So it just depends how strong Craig Purvis's team is there. Athletic on paper have got a really good team, but that pitch, I would say, with the conditions that we've had this week, Chris, won't make for a pretty game of football. So Peel might have to dig deep, work hard, and maybe a little bit of a hoof over the top job, because you're not going to be able to play much football on there, and we'll wait and see how we go. But I'm pretty certain Peel pretty well full strength. I think the team will be near enough the same as last week. I just think that right full-back spot, what they're going to do, and whether that centre forward role is still a problem for them. What are they going to do there? And, I spoke to Rhys Oates about it this week, and I just wonder if maybe play Lee Gale through that middle and put Matthew Woods on that right-hand side. Whether it work, I don't know. Falky's a better man than me.